Hey gang, welcome. It's time for a Premier draft here. Chat has voted for Dominaria. Premier is our only option with Dominaria, but I will take it as we get to draft Dominaria with humans on Magic the Gathering Arena. This is, I believe, the first time that's been available in client. Of course, we've been messing around with all human drafting using the mtgadraft.herokuapp.com app, webpage, but it's nice to have all human drafting of this amazing format on Arena, and nice to see Wizards seeing the opportunities there for them to go back and revisit formats that have been on Arena historically, but only as bot formats, and bringing them back as human formats is really quite an upgrade. And so we experienced that last week with Eldraine, and now we're experiencing it this week with Dominaria. I did want to mention to my YouTube viewers, normally I try to go chronologically with my content, but sometimes I get ahead of content, so I'm like I got a couple days padding of content, and normally I roll it out in sequence, but I've decided to kind of skip the Eldraine stuff I have in the can and focus on the Dominaria stuff we're creating this week, so that people are seeing Dominaria while it's still relevant. So if any of you YouTubers care about spoilers and the chronology of my content, just a warning that it's going to be a little disjointed as we as I skip the Eldraine stuff and focus on the current backlog set that we have a chance to draft, which is of course Dominaria, one of my favorites, as I was saying. And we had some mixed success. Despite my adoration of this format, I have not really delivered on the results so far, although I did deliver on the results in the Streamer Showdown. That was a good place to go, 3-0. Still don't have the details on when part 2 is, by the way, and spoilers, post comment spoilers, but if you want to catch that event, that is on YouTube. Check out the Dominaria Streamer Showdown, one of the better drafts I've been in on stream in terms of drama, interesting decisions, and interesting games. So really worth checking out there. And also worth checking out cardkingdom.com, my sponsor. You know that was coming. I love them. They have provided me with such support since I started streaming, and continue to do so. And they're going to provide you with all the support you need for your physical tabletop Magic experiences. Whatever you need, they've got. If they don't have it, they're trying to get it. They either have it or are trying to get it. Those are the two states of inventory at cardkingdom.com, and mostly they're on the have it side. So what's one of the things I like about them is that if you're looking to complete a deck, even from scratch, or just fill out the last X pieces of a deck, they are just more often than not going to be able to take care of you in one stop, and that has a lot of value too. And Margaret is taking the poor hound off to try and make him feel better in his... I kind of want to bring him on camera, the pathetic hound. Maybe we'll get that at some point. So those of you who missed before I started this video, my dog is in flea recovery, but mainly he's got like bites that he wants to eat at all day long. So he's a sad hound being prevented from what he wants to do, which is damage himself. I wish I could help him understand. Well, I'll try to get him down later, but I'm not gonna. If he's in a good place right now, better to let the sleeping dog lie, so to speak. We're gonna get going here, though. Let's jump in, confirm this purchase. Thank you, Card Kingdom. Get into our draft view and open us a bomb. I still want to get into the Red-Blue Wizards deck. We haven't done that yet, but you really need Adelaide's to make that thing sing, in my experience. But you know me, I usually end up Sultai around here. Sometimes I splash white in a Sultai base pair. Sometimes splash red. I've been Junned a few times. If you open Daragaz, which is a Junned 7-drop dragon, that's a good reason to splash the red. Red-green kicker is a place I've ended up. Like, basically, red is my 4th most drafted color, and white my least drafted color, probably. I'm not sure if red or white, but I do. Red and white both can provide some interesting support in the control strategies I like. But I rarely... Can't remember the last time I was straight Boros in this format. Mending is a great place to start. I like starting with a mending. I also like starting with a fight with fire. Speaking of green red kicker, fight with fire is kind of a reason to be in green red kicker. There's the grow from the ashes that helps you get to your 9 mana pretty reasonably, and then once this is a 9 mana. And you can, with the recursion that's available in this set, you can really go nuts with this. And really just win games, go to face. I, however, love starting on mending. It's in a color I prefer, and it's a little clunky. This isn't like a super bomb, but if you can survive to the point where you're casting this without worrying about dying the next turn or whatever, it starts to be extremely powerful. So I'm going to take it. And see where we get from here. I see a Vicious Offering here that I'm going to take. If we had taken that Fight with Fire, Get You Chronicler is what I'm talking about in terms of the recursion. Fight with Fire and Get You Chronicler are best buds. So if you do find yourself in a Fight with Fire deck, do not sleep on the Chroniclers. They let you do one of my favorite kind of sequences and how you can extract value from this format. You basically can use Fight with Fire as a 5 damage removal spell at 3 mana, and then late in the game use a couple of Chroniclers to then bring it back and just win the game, right? So that's generally what I'm trying to do when I end up in the Fight with Fire situation. But since we started with Mending, a green card, I love following with black. Green-black is a super solid pair with a Sapperling strategy in this format. So and Vicious Offering is good with Saps. So we're definitely taking Vicious Offering to follow our Mending pick. But yeah, if we were on the Fight with Fire path, we might be on Fight with Fire, Chronicler, Shivan Fire, and then, or probably actually Vicious Offering, Shivan Fire, trying to wheel Chroniclers. And we can even listen to that here. We can follow our first picks with a Fixing or Elves, which, as I've said, I'm kind of down on. If I'm really drafting the hard way, I just take Divination here. It's the only blue card in the pack, but it's too early to tell what that means signal-wise. If the packs had just been blue light here, then we're not really learning anything, and we're missing 2 uncommons and a common. So, Haj, you want Acolyte? I think Acolyte is certainly worth running, but I don't prioritize it. I'm going to try to wheel Acolytes or get them late. I certainly want an Acolyte in this deck, but I'm going to take what I consider to be the best card, the Divination, and then we'll see what the table says. Now we get a Song, and now this is probably looking like if we play blue, it would be like, I love Song in a Saps deck, and getting it early here lets us build around it. So let's take Song and look to get into more firmly green-black long game Saps, maybe with some blue splash, but I like the green-black direction with this start. I can't force it when it's not there, though. I'm just going to take another Divination. If I thought it was the best card a couple picks ago, there's not much else in this pack to shift my opinion here either. Mesa Unicorn is kind of the poster child of White's inadequacies in that it's like, this ought to be a nice creature in the abstract. And actually, this is what for me, when I do end up in aggro White, it's because I'm getting Mesa Unicorns pick 7, 8, like when the table is really like, nope, nobody is willing to do this. And I'm getting these kinds of cards that late. That's when I'm a little more interested. Yeah, I'm Sultai probably 80% plus of the time in this format. Base Sultai. The splash could be anywhere, but base Sultai probably 80%, yeah. And here's an Acolyte spot. This is where I like to grab a card like the Acolyte. Here's another one we could grab. We could also take a Snapper or even a Wizard's Retort. Not clear. I with Frailes and Mending and Vicious, I really would like to be black green. We could take Impulse. Yeah, I don't know if we take a black green card or continue to push towards possible blue. 2 Divinations and a Retort is a fine blue base as well. And a second Acolyte. I'm going to take the Retort because I think we're going to get enough Acolytes. I think we might even wheel that other one. Yeah. We're not playing retort unless we're base blue. I'm giving us a chance to be that here, despite my desire to lean into these. Yeah, and the 2 sagas do want creatures. That's true. But if we end up base blue or whatever, we may not be worried about these cards even. And I guess we take another blue card, and I'll take a creature here over. We can take an impulse, but again, underwhelming. But I think the best card there, and more underwhelming stuff here. Again, though, this is the type of, the white cards that you end up that seem that in a different format would be higher picks. But the best card in this pack is Befuddle or Armament. Not creatures, but I'm going to take the Befuddle. Another Befuddle, but here's an Evangel, kind of decision time. Are we taking and we splashed Tetsuko in a green-black sap deck before, because it makes all the Saprolings unblockable. Yeah, I suppose blue-red is still a possibility here. Maybe I didn't consider that. I'm going to take the Umezawa over the really medium black creature. And here's a Chronicler coming around very late. Pick one, 11. So, yeah, maybe I should have taken that red card and at least keep that on the table. I'm going to take a worm here, though. If we stick with green, we won't mind the big boy. You can go song into worm pretty quickly. Yeah, very late Chronicler. I'm going to take first... I tried to take... Oh, yeah, I did. First Armament over second Befuddle. Haphazard Bombardment does some stuff, but I like a Surveyor here, I think, as we're trying to figure out exactly what to be. Setting up to be able to splash is nice. Surveyor just unlocks so much potential when you can get one. I am seeing a lot, like, it's hindsight, etc. But with the way the packs have broken since pack one, pick one, I kind of wish if I could go back and take the fight with fire approach. It would look pretty good here. So let's do the Surveyor. Nothing here quite trumps Surveyor. There's a lot of good things here. Let's talk about what's good. I like Deep Freeze is okay if you don't get your removal. Skin Witch is incredible. Goblin Barrage, great removal. And Bombardment, something I would splash in a control deck as a late game control consideration. But Surveyors are so valuable. And then we start to, we did not see, we got cut off of black, right? We took a Vicious Offering with the second pick, but then black was, dead. I think we take Reborn because even if we don't go base black, we would splash that. I'm just noting that my desire to be black-green is running into this reality where we're not really getting heavy black. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on what's open. Maybe we're green-blue, splash black here. Yeah, hard to say Teamer with just a Chronicler, but if red continues to be wide open, I'll consider it. But here I think I'm just going to take the Sap Herd and push back towards this, because we have a density of blue, but none of it I love. I love the Divinations, full stop. Everything else is pretty clunky here. Suggestion for that Teamer, because blue is open, or red is open. I think it's been open-ish, but nothing that's super impressing me. Can we do a map? I've never built around this. I know you can. I feel incompetent to try and build around this, though. Does this gain some life? No, you need to gain. I'm just going to stick to a more traditional plan. I can't figure out how to make that thing work the way I want. Well, this is super interesting. We got a Skin Witch and an Urgoros. I like an Urgoros as a potential finisher. It can run into some big flyers that make it a problem. I also love a Blink, though. This is one of the better blue cards we've seen. I just continue to be worried that we're just going to get black in pack 2, and it wasn't really open in pack 1. But yeah, Fraile's ramp to Urgoros is pretty sweet, and maybe with the Frailes, although the thing with Frailes, the Llanowar Elves don't get that much better. I like Urgoros here, though, and This may be the pack where we take a lot of black this direction, but we just don't get much back the other way. Speaking of not much, there is not much to get excited about here. We take another retort. Where does that put us if we take this other? Because also you could argue that the green is a little light. Like, these packs have not been very powerful, I would say. And I'm not going to get into white at this point, so I really think we should take the retort. We got a weird icicle at 3 building, though. And then a blink here, and a fungal infection. Can you adjust? Hello? I can't even click. Wizards? Okay, now it's registering clicks at least, with 9 seconds to go. Really tough. Blink or fungal? Gosh, I think... Well, I guess I took fungal. Darn it. I wanted more time to think about that one, because the blue, like black-blue now seems pretty open to me. I'll take a second Urgaros here over Mammoth Spider. We're getting with second Urgaros, I mean, we could take a Spider, but I'm going to take another Urgaros. And I'm going to cut this. Final Parting works. If you have time, Final Parting plus Mending does some stuff, but it's clunky. We could take Animus for some fight. This is clunky too, but we'll take it. Arcanist. I'd say Final Parting is playable for us, Flip, but it can kill you. It can be so clunky that because you're going Final Parting into Mending, you better have a pretty stable board. You're not doing much for 2 straight turns there. I took that because I found it to be the best, but we are continuing to be fairly split. I think this is going to be another deck where we don't have a lot of sideboard options once we settle in understand exactly where we are color-wise, but the Skittering Surveyor helps. Hodge may be right. I think blue-black has been the highest quality cards. Rats we don't want to play, but I've played them before. Settle the score over Torgar. Passing all these witches. 0 witches, despite being black, makes me sad. But settle is probably where it's at here. Although I prefer just eviscerate, honestly. Give me the sorcery that's easier to cast and splashable. And if we cut green entirely, we need some more early action, but we're getting there on card count, like if we just cut the green. I'm not saying we're out of green yet, but this is starting to look like a reasonable place to be, especially adding this on. Rite of Bells and Lock, not my favorite, actually. Would rather just have a Vicious Offering here. I don't know how other people feel about this, but in a blink of an eye format, I find making a 3-turn token flyer to be very risky. You give them multiple turns to set up to either kill the stuff that would get this or just bounce it when it gets there. That's true. It's true. I just think it's not just the blink. It's also that it just gives people time to plan. I think by the time you've created your 6/6 flyer, it often does not do what you wanted it to do. Now we have another offering opportunity, and Torment's even worse. Speaking of sagas that make tokens. Elfame Druid. Oh yeah, we like Vicious Offering without sack fodder for sure, because sometimes they target your stuff and you just sack it in response. But I like the Druid, but I do think I'm taking the Offering. I'll take 3 of these is great to me, and like we're setting up now to oh gosh, Multani. Okay, well, you know, you follow it. You follow what they're telling you to do, and we can't really pass Multani and not play that. So all right. And interesting pick here. There's Marwyn, but she looks all legendary and stuff, but doesn't really do much without additional elves. And I'd rather just have another sap herd here. Blink. I miss you. Oh, I thought that, yeah. Well, can we make enough Thalids for this? I guess we can take the Spore Crown. We need green early drops, and as a bear, it's fine enough. And then as we make little saps, it's going to do some other stuff for us too. Yeah, we're black-green. I haven't updated the deck, but black-green is now taking over this pack. You're going to get a Memorial to Folly here over another Windgrace Acolyte. We have a couple of these would be okay. I'm just going to get my picks made in time here. We'll do all of our cutting at the end of the draft here. It's not... We don't really need to see this to understand what we're picking. Paladin, Protector, both really weak cards. I guess I take a Paladin, though. I don't even know how dreamy that is, Nissa. Maybe we splash blue and run this. I'll give us more 2-drop options here. Over another big 6. And a late Windgrace over artifact removal? I think so. And yeah, we'll take an Elves and run that. Late Journey Mage. We'll see what blue we're playing. Maybe run the Divinations, just some card draw. So if we did this, we're short playables, and we gotta put some green back in. Then we're not short playables. I don't value the elves. I've said I'll play them when I get them, but I don't think they're hyper important to successful green decks in the format. And we're close to like calling this a deck here. Maybe Adventurous. Animus should go in. I guess I like. What do you like? We probably don't need. These are our 6s. We don't need either of these lesser 6s, I think. And Impulse, yes, is also on my short list here of things I'm looking to find a way in for. But I don't know what to cut for it here. Let's look at our overall numbers. 12. See, only 12 creatures, so I don't want to cut like an Evangel. It makes Song not that great here. You could even consider cutting Song and just bringing in Impulse and not making this about Song. Oh yeah, we should get the Blue Memorial in. We could splash Tetsuko again for unblockable saps, but we're not really doing heavy saps. Well, I disagree with Lords then. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. My experience is that that Llanowar Elves is just okay. So yeah, we could cut Song. If we do that, we're bringing in Impulse to find... Animus is iffy all the time. It's always iffy. We could just cut it, but we're in a spot where we don't have that much to bring in instead. I mean, we could cut Animus for Journey Mage, splash some interaction in that way. Yeah, Thallid pumps saps, but what do we have that makes saps? We have 2 sap herds and an infection, and that's it. Like, that's it. So the sap thing, this is more lightning rod than anything else. What do we want to do here? My wife is sending me pictures of our sad dog. Looks like he's got his ring off, though. You don't know how you feel about splashing divinations. Well, take a look at our board. It's not like we are choosing from the smorgasbord of awesomeness and making incredibly tough cuts. We are scraping the bottom of the barrel, figuring out what to fill our deck with, and I have no problem splashing divination in this format. I think it's actively good. It's because we have Trips, Vicious Offering, Animus, and Settle, and we just want to attrition them out with our removal and stuff. All right. I think I'm going to start here, call this our starting point. The memorials are great ideas. Oh my God, they're all great ideas. With mending, let's crack a memorial and then get it back. Yep, I get it. I get it. We need blue to crack it. I'm so greedy. In fact, we could do it this way. If we're winning, cracking the memorial won't be a problem. Now, you might argue that running the memorial causes us to not win because it slows us down a little bit. But the upside is great. So this is 7-7-2. I like an 8-7-2. No, let's see, what do we, what's our, $12 pips. So we're very heavy black, but we have that Llanowar Elves that we want to cast on. Elves and Impulse make me want to lean a little bit green here.
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that green is good.
I felt like these packs were pretty weak. There were a lot of packs where there was just nothing there. And actually, that is one of the things about Dominaria. I think partly because of the weakness of white aggro, the packs create a lot of blanks unless you're willing to be the white aggro player. If nobody at the table is willing to really get into that deck, then we're all competing for the other stuff. And then packs dry up faster, and the lack of quality at the low end of the packs in the set, of the worst commons in the set, really drive home that factor. So I think I end up brushing the edge on playables a lot in this format because I'm usually trying to figure out which color pair exactly to be in, and then this is pretty typical of how this drafts for me. But historically, it's worked out. I mean, my results have not been great. I acknowledge since it came back, but this is pretty typical. Sometimes scraping the bottom with some evangels and that kind of thing, but overall. Sorry, I need to add this. I do want to go 8 Forest on the Llanowar Impulse situation. And then the Surveyors help a lot here. We're triple Vicious and double 2 Acolytes, 2 Empty Ones, 2 Divinations, Vicious something. Vicious Recycle. How about, because we're gonna be mending and recycling everything. So instead of a Vicious Cycle, Vicious Recycle. Not really high contrast. I'm willing to play aggro. How do I get into aggro white? Well, it probably starts with some splashable white cards, and then something that I can't ignore. Like some things that have gotten me into aggro white are the very, very late 1/3 flyers that when they attack, make another creature fly. Yeah, the song is interesting. If you want to pretend, like, if someone wants to run the song despite the 12 creatures, I would say ask yourself what you would cut for it. So, like, if someone who you're suggesting remove Thallid or land for song. So, Dirt Sleep, if you want to presume that this Spore Crown is a song instead, go for it. But I don't see how you remove a creature to bring in a song. I would, if you're going to do that, cut Animus and bring in the song. Like, those of you who want to play song, I would be cutting Animus or Impulse for it. But I'm going to give this a shot as is, like this. I need to get Tron, the lands he asked for. Unstable. Oh, this is the lands you asked for, though. You like Unstable? This is Unstable, right? Yeah. All right. We're already there on lands. Oh, but I need one more. Yeah, Impulse is on the bubble, but we have enough good creatures and a need to find our creatures. The Impulse becomes like a 13th creature, which doesn't suck. Does this deck suck? Let's find out. Here's a par poll. How many times are we going to win on average if we play this out 1,000,000 times? Oops, except then I fat-fingered it. Try that again. Mama always says 7. I do admit that Memorial with only one other island is a bit greedy, but we have a Skitters. You'll see. We're going to crack this, and you'll see. Also, Divination is okay. No black yet, but on the play, this is rough, because if we Divination on 3 with no other play, we discard, but I'm still going to keep it, because Divination on 3 ought to help us set up for, like, Eldest. One thing that's also worrying about 2 sources of blue for the Memorial is we are running a Windgrace Acolyte, and if we Acolyte our land into our graveyard, now we have the rare Mending to get land back, but it can be tough to... Yeah, we're going to do this. We have to discard, but it's okay. We need to find black mana. Well, there we go. We found it. And what's our least important card here? Probably second copy of Urgoros. Although if they kill the first one, we might wish we had the second. But we got Eldest Reborn and everything. You really want to keep 2 Urgoroses? Yeah, we could pitch Forest. That's fair, too. We have another Divination. Okay, I'm in on the greed for Forest. Let's pitch a Forest. We also have Mending to get it back, etc. Just felt like the second Urgoros was pretty darn redundant, but if they kill it, it won't be, so that's fine. And yeah, Eldest Fodder, not bad either. Yeah, somebody just did. Heck, since the greed is good isn't really a full meme, I'll give you another free one.
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed is good. Point is,
Discarding bombs is crazy sometimes, but in this case, is Urgoros a full bomb? Maybe. Is discarding it really bad? Not with a legendary copy of the second one and Eldest Reborn in hand, but I hear you. I did back off on that. Now we're going to go Sapherd here, though. I'm going to represent Fungal Infection. I never intended... Yeah, that's true. I suppose when Houndmaster fetches 2 cards, that would be a reason to play Who Let the Dogs Out, but that was more of a joke meme than something I actually want to afflict you all with. So here, Eldest Reborn is fine. We pick off their creature and attack, and then drop Urgoros next turn. And then after that, we have Animus potentially fighting with Urgoros. That would be nice. Top 5 are mean. You like the record scratch dogs out, or are you talking about something else, Haj? Hey, we know that dude. Well, we're going to play our Urgoros and cross our fingers. Ideally, of course, we will block theirs with ours and then have a second one at the ready. But, yeah, why would you discard Icy? That's scary as heck, huh? What? What does that mean? It means we're probably getting hit by Urgoros here. Because, like, how do you discard Icy and not have an answer to this Urgoros? Trouble is, if they use removal on ours, we get hit for something random here. Hope, you know, we'll see. Icy, one of the premier first picks in the format. Uncommon, colorless, bomb. Wow. We can take the Acolyte and risk putting lands in, but then that works for Multani anyway, right? Multani looks at your... Yeah, and graveyard, so we like lands in graveyard there. So Windgrace seems fine. We could take Whisper, but I'm going to go for the flyer. A lot of mana open here. Makes me nervous to try the Animus. I like sending in our Urgoros and seeing if they block. Because we have another one anyway. And we have Multani. Would love a block here. If we don't get a block, I think we just do Multani, and then we have Windgrace Acolyte and Multani that can both block Urgoros. You want an Impulse for land and then Multani? Did we not play a land this turn? Yeah, we could do that if we haven't played a land this turn. Except we have to find specifically a forest or we can't cast Multani. Ah, there you go. We showed some patience. And although this is interesting, yeah, I guess we should go for it. How do we want to go for it, though? Because if we go for Animus, it gets a 5/4, but they fight, so they still trade. Yeah, this is still okay, right? Yep, I think we can just let this all happen. I'm with you. Nope, that was fine for us. And let's see, they don't have, they could have, I'm going to play another Urgoros in case they have something like Settle the Score. Let's let them exile another Urgoros and then drop Multani. This is the one that if they can't answer, we just win. So let's put another must-answer threat out, and then if they use exile on it, we'll good. Sap token, yeah, we could have done that, sure. I think this is all fine, though. I like that we still have this. Now we get... Again, if I impulse and don't find a forest, we can't cast Multani, so I'm just going to attack first and then drop Multani. Might get a scoop. Yeah, I don't understand the icy discard. It may have been some misclick or something. I'll play this, though. It can be big. Animus is an instant. We can... Okay, they're just going to call it done. See, just play a little bit slow and you get a bunch of extra wins from snap scoops. I'll take it. Fine start. We are not 6-2 though. We're now 1-0. Great. Need another green source for mending. But this is a spot where we get to go... Now it looks like we get Sapphire 3, Divination 4, Acolyte 5, Scoop Up Value 6. Card quality matters. Certainly you don't just blindly... Fluffy asked, when you think of trading 2 for 2, is it just cards or does the card quality matter? Certainly looking at the card exchange is step one. Like, are we up or down on cards if we let this happen? And when you go, okay, we're even on cards, so it's a fair trade on cards. Now let's look at the next level down. Does this card quality trade balance us? And in the spot where we have a backup legend to play, then I think it's pretty cleanly like, yeah, this trade favors us, you know? And we could just do another sap herd here. We don't need to go divination. We can wait and reload. I like building. Basically, if you have a choice between drawing extra cards or deploying perfectly reasonable threats, I say deploy the perfectly reasonable threats and save your divination for when you're out of gas. Memorial being a non-basic is prioritized by the auto tap system, but I really want to be representing infection. So I'll consider that for next attack or next time. How often are you able to play your splashes on curve? I don't. You mean in this deck in general? I mean, I think I would say philosophically, you want your splashes to be good in the mid to late game. Adelaide's always scary. Again, this is the linchpin of the best aggro deck in the format right here. If you like aggro and play this format and you have an early chance at Adeliz, is it Adeliz? I don't know. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, Adeliz. But the Cinder Wind is an excellent pickup. In this case, though, I like Windgrace into mending here. Let's start filling the yard for mending purposes. Nice. All right, strong looking wizards lineup, but we have the ground control to stretch this out. So I'm liking our overall chances here. And now looks like we get a effectively shields down mending. They can syncopate for 1, but we can pay for that with a mending. So I'm going to mend here. Mike wants Paladin. I'm going straight for the mending. When I have a guaranteed creature to get like this, I mean, I'm happy to just get Multani back via mending here. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot again. What are we bringing back? Got so many options now. I mean, I was going to bring back Multani, but Multani self-returns, so we should probably just get Urgaros here. Gonna keep Windgrace back to threaten the Cinder Wind. I wish I could tell it what I wanted to represent, like some color selector to pick bluff color, you know? It'd be nice if I could just say I want to bluff black right now and have it prioritize leaving black up. That's no problem. We get to replay this and it just shuffles everything back in, so it's not like but this was about turning wizards sideways. Now, the real problem here is that Oppo still has mana up, so what I'm expecting is that we do some blocking that we need to do here, but then it doesn't work anyway. All of these are wizards, so anything... This is, again, Adeliz makes this deck work. You can see how, without her, nothing Oppo's doing is at all impressive, right? I mean, Blink's pretty good, but Lava Runner, Scholar, Journey Mage, Arcanist, these are not incredible cards, but the Cinderwind makes them incredible and puts us in a really tough spot here. So we could imagine all of these getting another +1/+1. Yeah, and then if we... Mike says put both 2/2s on the 4/3 and chump the 3/4. That way, because we should play presuming there's another effect coming. We could do something like double block, but we could also do the Lava Runner, though, Mike, if we want to be... like, because we could put 2 on the Lava Runner, and then if they make a 3/4, we even get a Sap Herd left. And I think we have... What will be... Oh, because they put another spell in, sure. So, but that still gets it, right? And then it's even... Well, all right. I got to block. I meant to... I was out of hourglasses. I meant to put one more block on, but I was out of hourglasses. And now... Probably need another Sap Herd. Let's see, what are we doing this turn? Maybe we just need another Acolyte. Get that life total up and continue to threaten in the air. It's true, has reach. I like gaining some life here, though. And... Boy, we're really selling it, huh? Amazon likes Multani. Paladin Animus. Yeah, I suppose we could just do something to freaking kill Adelaide and then we'd be okay. So yeah, Sap Herd would have been interesting there. I like that play. Let's 2-for-1 ourselves to get rid of the big problem. Yeah, we're 2-for-1ing ourselves, but again, if we can take out the Cinderwind, we'll be very happy. So I'm going to try. And now we can chump if we need to just keep our life total up. Worst case scenario, second copy of Cinderwind lands. Believe me, as we know, that's not impossible when they're uncommons. you could, I guess I could, we could work out whether it was a mistake. To call it a huge mistake, I don't know. Yeah, it's sad to see Multani get shuffled back in, but we're doing what we need to do at this point to control the aggro. I'm going to say no blocks here. We can put some stops on and still return it. Yeah, we can return in response. Let's do that. I put stops on, so we can still do it. How about that? And we haven't played a land yet, so we even get to return Multani and play a Windgrace Acolyte this turn. So that's all right. Actually, with all that land add, we can just do Multani. Is that what we want to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I forgot we were getting lands in play because of mending. So we have 7 mana. We can just Multani and have some chumps. Oh yeah, it just gets bounced. Sorry, I didn't see that they got that back. I should pay attention to what Oppo's doing. So we need to play... well, just bouncing Multani is okay. We got to do something. I don't want to self mill right now, so let's let him do this. But yeah, maybe the life was important enough. Next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can Divination Acolyte. Now I'm going to go block this one. Don't know if I should block the ones here. Actually, we could do this too. What about this? There's some risk here at 6, 2, 3, 4. But Shivan Fire doesn't go to face. If it's +3/+3 and trample, I was worried about the self-mill concern was ill-placed. I'm saying that's what my brain was saying. I'm not saying it was correct. So I think we can't beat a trick, so I'm going to go for board control here. We might lose to a trick, and we'll see that I've kind of misplayed this game a little bit, but I think I have to, at this point, try for, and we even get, that was good, because we get one more dude back. Oh, and this is great, too, because now we can go Windgrace, Surveyor, and have 3 blocks, and some extra life. So we're slowly turning the corner, but I'm playing it closer than need be, I think. And maybe I survey first. Yeah, we don't want to mill the island, right? So let's get that. And then Acolyte. And now I don't want to mill the Mending. Well, Mending's already there. I guess we can't get Mending back, so never mind. I was thinking Mending shuffled itself in, but it does not. All right. Tight, 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 but we have great over-the-top cards. We just need to stay alive to deploy them and win with them. Yeah, at 5 life, with them at 5 cards, very not out of the woods here. But telling that last turn we double blocked a Lava Runner with 2 saps and they did nothing. So seems like instant speed interaction has to come off the top of the library for them at this point. Reach, Trample, Multani will be nice if we can get it through counters, but we got to play around play around counterspells too, because that could be the instant speed interaction they have that was not useful to them when we double blocked a 1/2. Okay, tapping out means Multani lands for sure. And Spore Crown, not a bad follow as well. But I'm going to start with, let's play the island they know about. And then we're not going to use island stuff now. So I'm going to tap both of those for this. And Spore Crown. Are we at a place where we can attack with Acolyte? I'm going to say no at 5 life. If they do something to remove Multani, I'll be really sad if this Acolyte is tapped. I believe Multani Conventional Wisdom is the biggest bomb in that there's so few things that answer it permanently. You need the common exile white card, or you need Deep Freeze, and for opponent not to have sacrifice effects. You know, it's just very hard to deal with permanently. Settle the score, exile, counterspell. Yep. There's a good way to deal with it. Lose to our own Multani here. We can find our own Settle, or a... the nice thing is, if Settle is bad because we have to kill it. If we can find ourselves a -5/-5, of which we have 3, we can certainly get it to small enough to trade with, and then it goes back into our graveyard, and we can win with it again. So you can. I'm glad I didn't attack, though, right? Now, thinking about blocks here. Interesting. I think we go Acolyte on Raider. We go Thallid on 1/3. And we double block a 2/3. Looking to take 3 and trade/kill a couple things. I think this looks good. The only other consideration might be to, like, try to eat something with the Acolyte and put these 2 on the Raider and trade instead. So that's one consideration. I'm going to go with this, though. This will ostensibly keep us alive. Uh-oh. No? All right. Oh, we're going to 2. Trample? Or is there trample somewhere I didn't account for? Hey, look, we got our Settle. It's not what we wanted. It's not the answer we wanted to our own Multani, because now we have to exile it. But they're down to a card, and we have Windgrace, Divination, Urgaros, so let's not mess around. Thank you for your service, Multani, but you're a traitor. And now Acolyte for some life back, and we can't cast Urgaros anyway. And we can't even represent the black mana and cast Acolyte, so yes, just Acolyte and hold. Now we got to win in 15 draws. We got, well, maybe even fewer, because 15 turns. We're going to do some drawing of our own. Absolutely clutches in the same deck as Adelaide's. I mean, of course you want to be aggro wizards, but it doesn't mean you're not ever going to get to 6 mana, and you're always going to run your clutches. Heck, clutches triggers Adelaide's, doesn't it? It's like, or is it instants? Oh, instants or sorceries. I wasn't sure if it was non-creature or instants and sorceries. It does not trigger Adelaide's, so still. If you're blue, you're running clutches in this format. Hopefully this is where our card quality comes in. You can see why I'm willing to splash divinations. This is its role here, to pull us ahead in cards when we're trying to recover and play the attrition game. And again, can we start attacking? Ugh, I'm gonna divinate first here. I could crack the memorial, but not yet. There's an offering. I like that. Now we can have offering up with Urgaros out, and that offering being up actually makes me say now we can attack with Acolyte, because I think offering lets us blow them out if they get tricksy with us. It doesn't matter. Actually, I was just going to show you that. So they know that we have one. They don't know about this one, but watch what happens when we play this Urgaros. It disappears. So it's smart. You don't have to worry about that. I don't know. I don't think that, but they have to be the same copies. Like, I wonder if we ever see reprints with different art, if they'll do that. So now blinking, yeah, I think we just let it happen and then decide how to deal with. See, because we could sack this and respond. We do have another Urgaros, so we could actually. Yeah, I could have killed the goblin before kicking. That's true. Too late to kill goblin now. Sorry, I should have thought that all the way through. But I do. What I was thinking is that I want to let them attack and do this at instant speed during attack. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So maybe that was a very costly mistake. Might have to do a block sack situation here. Probably going to do this here. So we go, let's trade here and soak here, and then we're going to sack the surveyor to -5 the goblin and take 2. Been getting intermittent audio comments for the past week plus. I don't know. I got it. Maybe I'll do some deep dive in my audio systems. Most people seem to think it's fine, but some people are more sensitive than others, and maybe there's something going on. Okay, so now we're dropping Urgaros. I don't need the blue though, so I'm gonna do it like this. Are we totally dead? I mean, what was my option? I mean, you wanted to draw with this? All right, well, I'm going to... Yeah, but they're going to find an attack, right? And I'm trying to figure out if we animus ahead to show them that we've killed one, or we hide and see if they don't. Like, just little... well, turns out wouldn't have mattered. Again, Aggro Wizards is excellent with Adeliz, and they even managed to pull it out without... Yeah, I guess I'll make them swing, but come on, they're gonna figure this out. I'm gonna give this to them. Still suboptimal, though. I just assumed we had to make a blocker and didn't really do the math on our life total. Oh, for sure, Hodge. I think we maybe could have pulled that one out. Not happy with how that ended up. Happy that we get to actually get a Land War Elves on 1. I mean, my big problem with Elves is that it's so terrible on when you draw it on turn 8. But, I mean, there are other cards that are terrible in that spot, too. And again, it's not that I don't play them, it's just that I don't seem to prioritize them as highly as the rest of the community does. Yeah, I don't know. I certainly don't feel good about that last game. I don't have all the exact moments in my head of where, I'm sure our friends on YouTube and chat will help suss that out. But yeah, that was not our finest hour. Fungal infection on Unicorn, blocking with the subsequent token is fine with me. We'll see if they come up with something else, though. Servant, not a dub or anything. Construct, okay. That's the secret power of fungal infection. For 1 mana, killing a 2 toughness creature that's attacking on the ground. All right, land us up, please. Not helpful, deck, not helpful. Well, getting punished on the splash, so anybody who wants to call this deck never punished, we're seeing the consequences of splashing right now. Drew both of our splash divinations. There's the dub I was thinking might be coming. Well, this will be humiliating, losing to dub. If they send both, I like... gosh, I almost want to block here to set up Reborn, but we don't have... We need this mana, so we're just going to take a couple hits here and hope we find an answer. This is certainly not a dub format, but Oppo trying to say, who cares? I'm going to beat you and your mana-screwed butt anyway. All right, well... Magic being magic to us now and slipping away a little bit. I mean, I know I have the 2 divinations in hand, but I do have an appropriate number of lands in the deck, and if we got any lands, we'd be able to do some stuff. As it is, I don't think we're losing to dub. I think we're losing to the mana system. I'll take it. Yeah, tap land incoming would be great. As it is, I think that is too late. Like, we just had a non-game. Should I play this out? Yeah, I'm gonna... yeah, I don't know if that's early or not, but it just feels like that's impossible to win. We just got magicked. This is what's been happening to me. I mean, and again, it's not me saying I'm just the unluckiest guy in the world, but combination of some weak packs, misplays, and bad luck have combined to make this not the best Dominaria run for me. Let's see what we can do in the losers bracket. Pair us with some other 2-loss suckers, and I think we'll be all right. Divination lurking without cast ability, but we'll keep that on the strength of our ability to survive on these offerings. Thank you, Pimpin. What did Razor predict? I'm going to defy you. Whatever. Unless you picked 6 wins, which is what we're going to get from here. All right, even something to do on 2 other than offer. I will trade offering for their saps. They're not interested, though. Hey, oil can. Good time zone. Welcome. Boy, I'm kind of insulted on picking 2. I mean, even if it comes to pass, you have seen some of the cards in our deck, right? You think this deck is bad? I think this deck is good. I might be bad. Maybe you're just predicting based on me. Yeah, sorry. We'll take 2, and we'll try to get something better than saps. Acolyte at least gives us something to do on 4, and if Oppo's not going to do anything, I don't mind swinging back and forth here until then. They've got stuff to do too, maybe deciding where they're going to spend their removal. I disagree. I don't know what... We got Trips offering. I mean, 3 offerings makes me like this deck a lot. The mending is good. Got settle. There's some uncomfortable low end, but I like this deck. Good on you, Haj. Haj trying to deliver the sources. We appreciate that. We were talking earlier about something, and Haj wanted to cite sources. All right, they keep pausing. I don't know what they're up to. I don't know why. Like, it feels like if they had Shivan Fire, they would snap off the Thallid in a heartbeat. So I don't know what's up, but we're going to throw out Acolyte and see. Watch us mill both our blue sources. No? All right. Well, there's our settle. Speaking of our weekend, I'm not suggesting this deck does not have its weak cards. It's filler, you might say. Yeah, but it's kind of a lightning rod. And if you're not doing anything else, like, come on, put yourself in Top Duck's shoes here. If you have a fiery impulse, a fiery, whatever it is, a Shivan Fire in your opener here, and you're not doing anything except 2 saps on 2, and you're not picking this off, that seems not realistic. Maybe it's a combat trick. Obviously, they're sending in these 1/1s into our 3/2, so certainly suggests some sort of tricksy. Maybe it's the fight card even? I don't know. Ancient Animus is our worst removal spell for sure. Yeah, I'm not saying this is an amazing deck, but I think it's better than a par 2. I would par 3 this at least. We do have a mending though. Keep that in mind, Gloss. Partly we're on, we can recover with mending. I think I would have said 3.5 on this if I were parring it with half notes. All right. We'll take another risk. No, Norbert, well, it's hard to say how the second game would have played out. I certainly acknowledge that I did not play the second game optimally. Whether we would have produced a win there is quite debatable. But again, where's my button to say I'm trying to represent a very specific card. Well, there's our mending, so we can't get our lands back now. I don't know if it would be useful harmonize, but data's interesting. I don't know. That's true. I could have let it hold the tap, but Wanderer. Can we race that? We're still in somewhat of a racing position here. May have to call the bluff. I think what we'll do is block Thalid on 1/1 and then the Vicious Offering in response. Yeah, I'm not going to bluff attack. I'd rather take the solid 3 in the air. That's a nice clock that they haven't solved yet, and then try to race on the ground here. Yeah, tap land can get us back Urgaros if we want to do that, and we can even cast it. So I like offering Urgaros here. Now I think we are Thalid in front of Rada. Eat Thalid to take out Wanderer. I guess we have enough life to bait out the trick. Yeah, the Acolyte helps with the racing. It does. That's interesting. Anyway, we'll start here. There's the run amok we've been expecting. So let's go. Let's certainly take out that. And then we can even. Well, I could say we could offer again, but we want to use the memorial this turn, so we're not going to use the other offering, or we can't crack the memorial. Mike wants to kill the 5/5 also. We're giving up on memorial then. You want to do that? You wanted to kill Rada in case of a trick? Interesting. A lot of opinions here on whether we're taking the rest of this damage or going for the race on this board. And, you know... All right. I'll do it. Because I think it actually just supports the plan of this Acolyte getting there. We still get life back. We might go for the, again, the Windgrace play instead of the Urgaros play. Took 3 damage for no reason. Sorry. Yeah, it was post-blocked. That's what, yeah. Yeah, and we're gonna race. We're gonna keep racing. This is a little nerve-wracking with Rada producing a lot of mana, but 2-turn clock here. They still haven't dealt with it. Yeah, I think we memorial back another Acolyte even. I do not believe that White-Black Knights is as good as Blue-Red Wizards, but if you do have Ariel or whatever that White-Black rare Knight is, that's linchpinny for that deck like the Cinder Wind is for wizards. Okay. Apparently we should have killed Rada. Are we just dead? Not just dead. We do have enough to divinate after Windgrace, so let's divinate first. See if there's something we'd rather do. Maybe I'm more, quote, vocal than others, Nebula, but I do think about it. And, well, there's times where I don't care, but generally when I'm setting up for some combat trick or something, I try to be very careful. I tell you, I don't know what's wrong. Like, people getting off Infernos, like, that should... All right. Here we go again. Dominaria troubles continue. I think I'm killing the 5/5 Trampler every time over the Rada there. I'm not playing around legendary sorceries at rare. I'm taking out the highest toughness, highest power. I mean, I don't need that, D. That's not helpful. That's not kind. I just took a loss, man. Be nice to me. So, what am I going to do to lick these wounds? Well, maybe. Also, those of you who didn't catch my intro, I have a miserable dog who needs attention and a flat tire on my car again. Another flat tire. So I kind of need to do some stuff. I think I'll do something else. I won't leave this early, but I am not going to necessarily go super long today.